Good afternoon, everybody. This is Revelation. Today is Sunday, June 28, 2020. I'm here today to talk about a lot of things. What's going on in the world, about this virus, the origins of it. So, I've been off for a few months because, one of the people who have underlying conditions. So, I'm not able to go out because I have a high risk of catching this virus. But I've been doing some research and I'm about to talk about it for a good hour. I would like for y'all to listen to some of this research I have. And I'm gonna be reading some stuff about history and putting it together. I'm gonna be putting history and legends and mythology, what they call mythology, but it's really history, but they call it mythology. I'm gonna be putting it all together. So yeah, please bear with me. Then I'm gonna be talking about things we should do and other theories. A lot of this is history, my thesis on a theory, because I'm looking at history and I'm looking at a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm researching it and trying to follow the breadcrumbs along with the DNA and blood. So I would like for everybody to hear what I got to say. You should listen. It may save your life one day. You need to think outside the box. Or don't listen, turn it off. Hey, it's your life. But I got some important information that I need to share with y'all. Like I said, Revelation got a lot of information today. I'm going to start it off. Be doing a little bit of reading. I'm here today to talk about origins and history. If you don't know your history, you don't know nothing. You like a leaf that's part of a tree and don't even know it. We got over 2 billion years of history, and you only know 6,000 years of it. 2 billion. Okay? I'm going to start with the research I've been doing since I've been off the last few months. Kind of grateful that I'm able to be off and still able to pay the bills. I know a lot of people can't pay the bills. I'm gonna starting off with the dinosaurs. I'm like, what? I was trying to say something about this at my job, and one of my good friends who was co-worker said everybody was laughing because they don't understand. But I'm about to break it down. I'm gonna start off with the dinosaurs, the origin. Millions of years ago, there were giants. When I talk about giants, people thinking I'm talking about David and Goliath. No, no, I'm not. I'm talking about the dinosaurs. The dinosaurs was here for millions of years, ruling the planet Earth. That's when the Earth did not have a moon, and the Earth rotated backwards and it had no 4 seasons. It was a very hot and hard place to live. It rotated around the sun instead of 365 days, double or triple the time to go around the sun to be a year. Us humans was also running with the dinosaurs. We was running with them back then. People just think we poof, we appeared. No, we was running with them. If you went back in time 500,000 years ago to see what we look like, you would be shocked because we would look like ape people. We look like monkeys. 500,000 years ago, that's when the Anunnaki showed up on the scene. When they landed, Our ancestors thought they were gods because they could fly. They also could make fire. We became their pets. They became our masters. The Anunnaki, who you call angels in your Bible, brought a slave race with them. They called them the Ajiji. The Ajiji was an alien slave race that the Anunnaki brought with them from their home planet to do hard labor. The Ajiji is the Greys who people say they seen in UFOs when they were kidnapped. It was about 100 Anunnaki and about 500 Ajiji. The Anunnaki, who you call angels, look like us, but with elongated heads and 7 to 8 foot tall. So these Anunnaki were tall, about 8 feet tall. Look like us. The head was elongated. Okay? The Anunnaki came to Earth to mine for minerals to save their planet. Y'all listen to this part. They destroyed their planet over racism, power, and greed. When they came to Earth, it was so hard for them to mine on planet Earth. And the dinosaurs was killing a lot of Anunnaki and Ajiji off while they were mining. So the Anunnaki knew they had to finish the mission when they came to Earth. They had to take out the dinosaurs. We call this the First Earth War. So while they was mining for gold and other minerals to try to save their planet, the dinosaurs was here. Dinosaurs was attacking them, killing them. So they had to fight them and try to exterminate them because they were in the way. They was on a mission. The Anunnaki had to stop all operations to go to war with the dinosaurs. The war lasted for many years. They lost a lot of Anunnaki and Ajiji fighting the dinosaurs. The Anunnaki used nuclear bombs, traps, viruses, and other type of methods to exterminate the dinosaurs. They engineered from bacteria on Earth a virus. A virus is a bioweapon. And the Anunnaki people was using gold from the Earth to try to save their planet. It did not work. They was all on a dying planet. They all had to come up with a plan B and leave Mars and come to Earth. All of the Anunnaki left Mars to head to Earth. That's when the war picked up. And the dinosaurs started to take a heavy loss. That's when the Ajiji decided to uprise. You got to remember, the Ajiji was a slave race. They got conquered and lost, and they had to become slaves for the Anunnaki. So they rose up. Because when the Anunnaki left Mars and brought all the Ajiji with them to be slaves and help fight in this war, you gotta remember the Ajiji outnumbered the Anunnaki 10 to 1. So the Anunnaki was fighting two wars at the same time. The Anunnaki king told Enki to make a new slave race. He told Enki to make a new slave race. He said, don't use the Ajiji. He told Enki, don't use their Gigi. Anu was the king, and he told his son Enki to make a new slave race. Okay? Enki was stuck. He had to make a new slave race from scratch. This two-sided war lasted over 1,000 years. So the Anunnaki was fighting the dinosaurs. People think the dinosaurs were stupid dumb. It's different type of dinosaurs. Okay? It wasn't just monkeys like us. It was dinosaurs with 2 legs, 2 arms, 2. You didn't learn nothing about this in your history, but they was there. They were fighting for their planet. Until Enki made his new slave race by modifying the ape, man and woman, with half of the Anunnaki DNA. The Anunnaki had to do that because they were on the verge of losing the war. I'm going to stop for a second. Them different bones that they finding of hominids, Anunnaki was modifying, trying to make a army. I know some of y'all saw like Star Wars, the Clone Wars. They were trying to make a perfect army, a weapon. They weren't just trying to make slaves where we can do their duties. They were trying to also make a weapon to help them fight, because they wasn't just fighting for materials and stuff. They were fighting for their life, for their survival of their species. So you probably find the bones of the Homo erectus, then it modified to something else, to Neanderthal, and then when they made Homo sapiens, it was the last model that was made. So I'm just trying to slow down so I can catch up and understand what I'm talking about. Enki made different types of super apes to fight in the war, but his last model he made was human. That's us. We were the last model, Homo sapiens. Humans, when we got in the war, we turned it all around and won the war. We helped the Anunnaki run the Gigi off the planet, and we pushed the dinosaurs to the brink of extinction. We became the world-renowned champions for the Anunnaki. But the Anunnaki king Anu wanted to move. The Anunnaki king Anu, that's Enki and Eli's father, he wanted more. He wanted the planet and all the minerals, and even the Anunnaki. Even though we helped the Anunnaki win the war, a lot of them were sick because of the new elements that the new environment that they was in, with the radiation and the viruses that they created to kill off everything around the earth. After winning the war, it was still there. And for our new masters, we became their slaves in the Garden of Eden. After helping them win the war, we became their new slaves. We started to run low on food and water, and the Anunnaki had us building space landers and buildings and homes and hunting for their food and growing their food. They also were sleeping with the women. The Anunnaki were sleeping with the female Homo sapiens. When food ran low and the Anunnaki got hungry, they would slaughter and eat the men and use them as food until food got right again. Because they modified. They didn't make us. We was already here as ape men and women. They modified us into their liking. We was their weapon. We was their slave. We helped them win the first Earth War. I'm not gonna talk about all the wars we had because it's a lot. I'm starting from the beginning because I'm trying to get somewhere. Earth was a harsh place to live on, but it had oxygen. It was livable. But the Anunnaki wanted to modify the Earth where it could have 4 seasons. So over time, the magic scientists, when I say use magic every day, but they just changed the name to science. They came up with a plan to fix everything on Earth. The Anunnaki came up with a plan called the mining campaign for gold and platinum and other type of minerals. They needed gold. Okay, they got to know something. Gold is like a currency throughout our galaxy. Okay, that was one of the reasons why they was here, to become rich. They needed gold to pay for the new moon base. Remember, that moon wasn't there at first. The Anunnaki brought here. With a new artificial moon and the different minerals like titanium to help the Earth regulate its 4 seasons and weather and cool it off, and Earth can have more water. Remember, the Earth was rotating backwards. Starting to rotate when they brought the moon in. That's when the Earth started rotating forward and tilted, because it was leaning the other way, and when they brought the moon in, it tilted a little bit, because they had to start having to turn forward so it can control the climate, where you can grow a lot of food, where you can do all this stuff. They had to modify the Earth. You call it terraforming. They had to modify it where it can be livable. Okay. Starting to rotate forward with the gravity of the moon and sun. It will make the Earth a better place to live, but they also knew when the moon came, it was going to also cause a great flood. When the moon came, it was going to also cause a great flood, killing more than 50% of the life and animals on the planet. It was going to kill 50% of the animals on the planet when that moon came. But they had to do it to wash away the coronavirus and radiation and other types of viruses too. They had to wash away the radiation and viruses. That was one of the reasons why they brought the moon here to try to. They just was trying to make a better place for them to live and trying to terraform the Earth and have a base on the moon. So with the flooding, the world will be destroyed. Most of the viruses also, they had to stay away from the Earth and be contained for over 374 days so the viruses can die out. But they knew the virus was live in some animals. I'm saying this for a reason. When they had the Great Flood, with the viruses and radiation didn't kill the animals off that was attacking them during the war, when they brought the moon close, the flood was going to finish off the rest of the dinosaur family that was attacking them, who the Anunnaki was at war with. Because the humans, which was us, who they modified for as their new weapon and slave, we helped them win the war by pushing the Gigi off the planet. We helped them destroy most of the dinosaurs, but the ones that were left over was going to die in the Great Flood. And they were the giants, the creatures of old. King Anu told Enki, don't tell the slaves we just have enough food and air and water for our people. No room for slaves. Enki made the slave race from scratch. To Enki, the slave was his kids. He could not let them die. So Enki told a group of his closest slaves, we're going to have to make an ark and some boats. Also, we're going to have to tell other people to hide in the highest mountains. So they made a lot of boats, collected DNA and animals, food, and all types of seeds to put inside of a pyramid to prepare to survive from the Great Flood. That pyramid was an ark, and they had many more arks. They had arks in South America, arks in China. So they had other type of stuff. They were trying to say it wasn't just Adam and it wasn't just Noah who got saved. It was a lot of different people, different type of nationalities that got saved during this great flood. Okay, it was just a lot. That's why you had the different blood types. If it was just Noah and a few people, you wouldn't have that many blood types. Enki even snuck a few slaves on his spaceship. That's insurance just in case they did not make it on Earth. Enki loved his creation, but his father and half brother Elil did not care if they lived or died. Over time, the Anunnaki came up with the money and platinum for the moon. They got the moon from their home or where the Orion Belt is. They was able to come up with enough gold to pay somebody to make a moon, gut a moon out to put titanium in it, and make it where the moon could fly to where the Earth was to stabilize it. The moon is a stabilizer, a moon station. But I'm gonna keep reading on the information that I got. The Anunnaki is all over the galaxy, but the Orion Belt is where where the Galactic Federation headquarter tribe is. That's like the United Nations of aliens. It's at the Orion Belt, the 3 stars you see. The Anunnaki were more miners, pirates, explorers who lived on Mars. And I'm pretty sure the Gigi, that was their home planet, lost the war, became a slave. Fighting, civil war, destroyed that planet. Now they're on Earth. Let me see where I left off. The Anunnaki is all over the galaxy, but the Orion Belt is where the Galactic Federation tribes or headquarters is. They were there to get the moon and bring it back. They called the moon Nubian, the destroyer of worlds. That's also the bringer of life. When the moon came close to the Earth, they had to slow it down so it would not crash into the Earth. When the moon slowed down and locked on to the Earth, that's when it caused the Great Flood and killed 50% of the life on Earth, and making life better for the other 50% after the moon locked on the Earth. The Earth started to rotate forward. We began to have 4 seasons. Also, we started having waves in the water, in the ocean. Life on Earth became stable, but the Earth tide to the side of the Earth tilted to the side for a few degrees, and after 374 days, the water receded and the Anunnaki came back. And I'm going to end this right here with the history, the myths, history, myths, and legends that I put all together in this story that I read to you. Because I was trying to get to a point. And my point is the Anunnaki engineered this virus from bacteria to take out the dinosaurs. That's why I read you that whole story. The whole corona family is a bioweapon. It's designed and trained to seek out and kill. The Anunnaki made it for the dinosaurs. Okay, and I'm about to go into a different section of my research right now. I just wrote you a little story the best I could. I hope y'all could follow. Now I'm about to talk about what we're dealing with when we're talking about the coronavirus. The coronavirus family is an ancient bioweapon that the Anunnaki, or who you call angels, made to kill off the dinosaurs. Because the dinosaurs was at the top of the food chain. It was in the way. They didn't want no competition. My proof, dinosaur bones. When you go to a museum and look at a dinosaur, when you go look at dinosaur bones, the bones are covered with black lead paint. Because most dinosaur bones have radiation on it. That's why they cover with black lead paint to protect you from the radiation. They say a meteorite killed off the dinosaurs. No. They were exterminated by the Anunnaki. My proof, viruses. The coronavirus family showed up where we can remember 100 years ago during World War I, 1918. Well, that was like a 2-year war, but it ended in 1918, and troops started to go home because the war was over with. During that war, I don't know if it was Britain, America, or Germany, they used biological weapons. Yeah, somebody used biological weapons. Somebody used an ancient bioweapon, and the troops, all of them, went back home all over the world after World War I. And that's when the Spanish flu came. The Spanish flu killed over 100 to 200 million worldwide. It's still with us today, but we call it the flu today. The flu kills between 2 to 5 to 10 million people a year. That's how many people die from this bioweapon, the flu. Between 5 and 10 million people a year. The flu is an ancient bioweapon that was made to kill the dinosaurs off. That's why birds have the virus, because they are part of the dinosaur family. You need to listen. This may save your life. I'm throwing knowledge. I've been studying this since the virus showed up on the scene. Been studying it. Need to listen. Now we're going to talk about what the virus matched. 96% in the horseshoe bat. They got a virus. Star virus, where this virus came from. A bat. A horseshoe bat. A horseshoe bat carries the COVID-19 coronavirus. The horseshoe bat was around when the dinosaurs was around. But the horseshoe bat was able to fly away and hide in caves during the extermination of the dinosaurs and the Great Flood. But the horseshoe bat learned how to live with the virus. But somebody in government or secret organization reactivated this bioweapon. I'm going to repeat it. Somebody in government or a secret society terrorist group reactivated this bioweapon. That's why it came out the blue. The horseshoe bat never touched the. If you study a horseshoe bat, it never hardly touches the ground. It sleeps upside down in a cave. It don't come out hardly when the sun is out. When it flies, it uses a lot of energy. It learned how to live with the virus. The horseshoe bat has several different types of coronavirus family living within it. The horseshoe bat sleeps all day and hunt at night. They use their voice to hunt because their eyesight is horrible. They're just about blind. When the Earth Wars started 500,000 years ago and the dinosaurs got killed off, the horseshoe bats got away because it can fly. But all them viruses that the Anunnaki used to put out to and kill and exterminate the dinosaurs, the horseshoe bat got some of them viruses still in his body. My proof is dinosaur bones. Dinosaur bones have radiation on it from the nuclear bombs that they was using to wipe out the dinosaurs. They still have the evidence on dinosaur bones. Okay? If you grind the dinosaur bones to get to the melon and test it, you will find the coronavirus in it. There goes my proof. You will find the coronavirus inside the dinosaur bones. Now I'm about to go to the third and final chapter of my research because I don't want this video to be super long. People's attention span, ain't long enough. But I'm trying to tell you something that can save your life because none of these doctors, scientists, or nobody can tell you. All they can tell you, if you get it, you might die. But they ain't telling you everything. So my third chapter is ways to slow the virus down, treat it. I also got this is just a theory. This isn't my way on how the world have to tackle the problem. You should listen, it may save your life. Because you got to think outside of the box because a vaccination ain't going to save you. Because colonial ways where everybody be on lockdown, we opened up too early. We got to stay on lockdown. A good majority of the population, at least 80% of the population, got to stay on lockdown for 374 days. Hey, I got this from history in the Bible, scrolls. I've been doing my research. We got to stay in quarantine for 374 days. That's over a year. Not for 3 months. For 374 days, we got to stay in quarantine. Need to stay home. It's going to be hard. People, they messing with my rights. Go out. You won't be here for too long. I'm going to tell you, if you don't follow this guideline where we stay in quarantine for 374 days, I promise you won't have America. You won't have a civilization. Okay? You got to stay in quarantine for 374 days. Number 2, the coronavirus is in people. We are all infected. It's in animals. When they chopping up that meat, it's in the food. You got to cook it at a certain temperature to kill the virus. It's in the cows, it's in the pigs, it's in the ducks, it's in everything we eat. And where y'all forgetting, it's in the air. And the most main thing y'all forgetting, you do a lockdown for 90 days. Oh, nobody don't have it. You forget about the insects have it too. Y'all ain't been testing the insects. The insects got the virus too. So you can say lock down for 90 days. When you go back out, the insects got to breathe. When you inhale the carbon dioxide that they was breathing, the oxygen that turned into carbon dioxide, and you walk by, boom, you're exposed again. The more virus you get in your body, the more virus you get stuck in your body, the more you get sick. So the more you get exposed to this virus, the sicker you get. That's why they tell you to wear masks. Less exposure. The more you get exposed to the virus, the more sick you get, or the more you may lose your life. We all have been exposed to this virus. All living things on earth has been exposed. When you go get tested, it's probably ain't picking it up yet, but you already been exposed. If from talking to somebody, coming in contact with somebody, or the food that you're drinking, or the water you're drinking, you've been exposed. It's already in your body, in everybody's body. That's why the president don't want no more testing, because you're gonna find a lot of people infected. All right, I'm gonna talk about it is a treatment that can buy you some time. Now, I'm talking about a way that can buy you some time. It's not a cure. It is a treatment. Water. Just listen to me. It may save your life one day. You probably saying this fool don't know what he talking about. He crazy as hell. Hey, you can think how you want to think. I'm just trying to put some knowledge out there to help you out, but you don't have to listen. Water. And I'm gonna tell you how water can help buy you some time. This virus have a lot to do with gravity. You need a life jacket and a pool of water where you can float while you rest or sleep in a pool of water to fight the gravity. We all can't go out of space to fight gravity. So the next best thing is water. That's why we gotta be in water when we resting, going to sleep. We gotta sleep in water. I'm gonna tell you why we gotta sleep in water. Cause the bats learned how to live with it. Why do you think the bats sleep upside down? It's because so prey can't get to it, but it's also help with controlling the virus. We can't sleep upside down because it'll kill us. So because they're trying to fight gravity, because this virus and gravity just don't. I mean, it'll kill you. But I'm gonna tell you why we gotta sleep in water. Water will slow down the virus so your immune system won't overreact and kill you. You have to slow down the virus so your immune system can catch up. It takes your immune system 2 weeks before it even know the virus is inside your body. And when a bell go ringing, that's when your immune system is attacking everything. It's inflamed. It's attacking everything, your lungs, your heart, your kidneys, trying to get the virus out, but it's also destroying your organs. So that's why you gotta be in water to slow the virus down so your immune system can catch up. But here go the catcher. For treatment, you gotta sleep in water for the rest of your life because it is no cure. You have to sleep in a pool of water with a life jacket so you won't drown, or some type of device where you don't drown while you're sleeping in the water, to regulate your body so your immune system can catch up so it can slow the virus down. Excuse me. Once infected, All right, I'm gonna read it again. Once infected with the virus, it takes 2 to 3 weeks before your immune system knows what's going on. Once your immune system finds out the body is under attack, it goes in overdrive, attacking everything in the body, destroying major organs, inflaming the body, and killing your organs. Then everything shuts down and kill you. That's why we have to slow the virus down to keep the body keep the body in body temperature water. When you're keeping it in a pool of water and using a life jacket to rest, you gotta we're gonna use body temperature for now. I don't know. We're gonna go with body temperature for now. It might change in the future to hot or cold, but we're gonna go with body temperature for now when you're resting. To slow the virus down and let the water do its job on slowing the virus down so your immune system can catch up and don't overreact. Because when you overreact, it's not the virus killing, it's your immune system. We also need blood thinner to stop the body from clotting. You need blood thinner flowing through the body while your body is resting in a pool of water when you're using a life jacket. So you're gonna need a tube for blood thinning to thinning out your blood so it won't clog in your heart, it won't clog in other organs and damage it, or in your brain and give you a stroke. Most definitely gonna need blood thinners. Also, we're gonna need a steroid to keep the body and organs strong. We're gonna have to take steroids so you won't run, so your muscles won't get weak and stop working, so your lungs will be strong enough to keep on breathing and just won't give up on you. You need to take steroids too. I know this is a lot of information, but we're almost done. Just bear with me. We also need, I don't know what's the best medication. The doctor could do this. We need a medication to help slow the virus down. Something that stop the RNA. That's what the virus uses when it invades and use your own cells to copy itself. We need something to block the RNA so it can slow the virus down. This is a smart virus. It's been around for a long time. It was engineered from bacteria. So we need to slow it down so the immune system can catch up. It's behind. And what happens when you're behind and you're trying to catch up? You're doing it by any means necessary, and you don't know what you're damaging trying to catch up. So we need, like, I know it's different types, but AZT, that's what it do for AIDS. It blocks the RNA so the AIDS virus won't be able to hijack your cells and copy itself. So we need something to block the RNA, some type of medication. This is treatment. I'm trying to tell you the treatment we can do. When you're not resting or sleeping in the water, you need to get out that water and move around, walk. I don't care how hard it hurts, how much pain you're in. If you can work on the treadmill, go ahead and work on a treadmill. But you can't just sleep in the water all day. You got to move around. Okay? You got to move around when you're not sleeping or resting. You got to get out that water and do some form of exercise. Here go the sad news I got to tell y'all. This is why we have so many infections. And I want y'all to really listen to this. Once you have the virus, it will be with you for life. Once positive, if you beat it in 30 to 45 days, you will show a false negative. That will be a false negative once your body heal up in 30 to 45 days. When it builds back up, you will be positive again. You got to remember, this is a bioweapon. It's designed to kill. You may think you okay after 30 or 45 days. It's not enough in your system where it's detected, but it's still there. You're going out You're infecting other people. Now you're feeling sick again. Oh, I got it again. It never left your body. Same with the flu. That's how the flu works. People be like, oh, it's cold. I caught the flu. Once you get the flu, you got it for life. It may not be in your body. You feel better. Then you might not get it for a few years until it build right back up. Then you're going to get it again. It's the same with this virus. So a false negative, then people come back, oh, I'm positive again. But some people, it's not going away. Some people had it for 3 to 4 months. It's just not going away. So I just wanted to tell y'all that bad news. Let go another thing. After getting the virus for treatment and you get well and it show negative, you're not negative, you're still positive. You will have to sleep with a life jacket in a pool of water. You might call this the new water bed for the rest of your life. Okay? You're going to have to sleep in a pool of water for the rest of your life until they can find a cure. This is only a treatment that I'm talking about. You're going to have to sleep in a new type of water bed. Full of water, life jacket, or however they modify where you're comfortable. You're going to have to sleep in a pool of water for the rest of your life to control this virus. After being quarantined for 300, this is theory on how we can control it over time. This is all theories I'm coming up with, how we can try to save our species that is at threat of being extinct behind this virus. After being quarantined for 375 days, when going out in the public, we still gonna have to wear suits with oxygen for the next 10 years. In two, wait, we're gonna still have to wear suits for the next 10 years. Hopefully, the virus die off, and virus will still be around in animals and insects. So we're gonna have to wear suits from head to toe with oxygen coming in after we be in quarantine for 374 days because the animals and insects didn't stay in quarantine for 374 days. We got to be in quarantine for 374 days. Then after that, when we do start transition, going back to school, going back to work, we're going to have to wear suits for another 10 years to try to make sure we starve this virus off and it died. And we still, we still have to take protocols probably for the rest of our life. That's the bad news. This coronavirus, I'm on number 11, on the other things we're going to have to do while we in quarantine, and then we have 20% of the population still helping the world control. Because after we do 374 days of quarantine, 80% of the population, we're going to have to flip it. That 20 that was out there helping the world still go, they're going to have to be quarantined for 374 days. And the other 80% going to have to wear suits and still go out. All right. When we trying to get control of this coronavirus don't like salt water. We need to use salt water when spraying water around the surfaces of the areas or in the air. We're going to be using salt water that will kill the virus. Use salt water, spray in the air all over the cities. When I'm talking about salt water, I'm not talking about go get some water and pour some salt with it. I'm talking about salt water from the ocean. We're going to have to use salt water from the ocean when we trying to disinfect areas, to try to help get the virus on the ground. We got to wash using salt water on the surface. We're going to have to use it, clean it out, reuse it again so we don't really mess with the ocean water. But we're going to have to use salt water. And we have to put up fans in the city, all fans pointing towards the ocean. We're going to have to be living in windy cities for years to come. Fans make the air fly towards the ocean to kill the virus. So we're gonna have the fans all pointing a certain way because we're trying to blow this virus out of our cities towards the ocean, salt water. And we'll clean the salt water up later. We still gonna have to clean all this mess up in the oceans. We're gonna have to clean it up. So we want it out the cities. We might have to be having wind blowing for years to come because we're trying to get rid of this virus. Even though we're gonna have traces in our body, we'll be wearing suits, and we're gonna have to do all these protocols to save lives, to get control back in our lives. Let's see. We're gonna need machines in the air filtering out the airs. So like little hovercrafts in the air, filtering out the air, cleaning it in the sky. And in our buildings, we're gonna have to filter out our air. We're gonna need new type of machines that blowing in the air, filtering it out, filtering out our air. It's gonna have to be mandatory in all the buildings, filtering out our in our houses, in our any type of building. It's gonna have to be the air got to get filtered out 24/7. The air is gonna have to be filtered out. So when we're in our house, when we take off the suit, the air is getting filtered out, killing the virus. So when we have to take a shower and do all that other stuff, this is gonna have to be mandatory all over the world. You're gonna need to be able to filter out the air in the houses, in the buildings, in the arenas, wherever a lot of people at, or inside your home. The air got to be filtered out, blown in, filter out. It's got to be filtered out. We need to also do testing after this 374-day quarantine every 60 to 90 days for the rest of our life. So we can stay on top of this. We're going to have to do testing every 60 to 90 days for the rest of our life. Everybody, all over the world. We got to track this virus. All air travel need to stop for 2 years. That's going to be hard to do. Nobody ain't going to be able to travel. You got to stay where you at for the next 2 years. That's how we spreading this virus. Air travel. That's how I spread it all over the world. Air travel. We got to stop air travel. Use machines for doing trade. And at least they got to be wearing suits if they're on the ships. This for trade, just using machines and a little bit of people. But all that for fun, domestic tours, it got to stop for 2 years. It got to stop. Or you won't have a civilization if you don't stop air travel for 2 years. What else? This my Hail Mary for a cure. This is the last thing I'm about to say. This is my Hail Mary for a cure. The Anunnaki, who you call angels, they use earth bacteria to modify that bacteria into a virus to kill. We're going to have to modify bacteria to chase down this virus and kill it. We gotta fight fire with fire. We gotta modify bacteria to chase down this COVID-19 coronavirus. We're gonna have to train this virus, modify, re-engineer it, this bacteria. No, hold up. We're gonna have to train this bacteria, remodify it, and re-engineer it to go in the body to look for coronaviruses, to track it down and kill it. And then after a year or two, we're going to have to pump the body with antibiotics to kill the bacteria. So we're going to have something to kill the virus. And then we already got penicillin to kill the bacteria. We're going to have to use bacteria to take this virus out to help the immune system. That's the only way I see us curing it. You need something else. Main objective, where the immune system don't attack it and it's going after the virus. Where the immune system see this is a friend, don't attack, and the bacteria is going after the virus to kill it. And then over a year or two, pump the body with penicillin, antibiotics to kill the bacteria, and hopefully we'll be free from this nightmare. This revelation. So I know I've been doing this research for 3 months, so please subscribe to my channel. Please have other people look at it, because we're being exterminated. And if we're waiting on somebody else to correct the problem, like government or somebody else, you know what they're going to do? They're going to find a treatment like they did with AIDS. They never found a cure for AIDS. They never found a cure for the common flu. They never found a cure for cancer. We got to find something to take out these viruses, ancient bioweapons, or you won't have a civilization left. None of us won't be here. It'll be a tomb of a lost civilization. I threw some theories and some information out there from doing research, looking at different texts, different things, legends, urban legends, mythology, that people say it couldn't happen. It's just got to be a fairy tale, because it happened so long ago. I told you what we're dealing with. Look into it, do your research. Everybody hold their own destiny. So you can choose and wait and think this shit is a hoax and do whatever you want to do. Don't wear no mask because your president ain't wearing. Hey, that's on you. Protect yourself. Everybody work together to try to figure this thing out. Take it out. We're going to have to make many sacrifices if we want to live how we used to live. We have to make many sacrifices. And if you ain't willing to make the sacrifice, your species won't be here in another 20 to 50 years. I promise you that. There won't be nobody here in another 20, 50 years if we don't figure this out right now. So this is Revelation signing off. Thank you for watching. Good luck.